Hi, I'm Nick Miffin, APA Sports Physio.
Hi, my name is Dara Curley, sports physiotherapist working at Lifecare Croydon.
Hi, I'm Sam Sook, physiotherapist at Lifecare Croydon and trainer at the Footscray Bulldogs. We're here today on behalf of the Eastern Football League and Lifecare Croydon to provide some advice on taping techniques and injury prevention. Hope you enjoy.
One of the most common injuries in AFL in sports like netball and basketball is an ankle sprain. It commonly involves the ligaments on the outside of the ankle, which if we look here, run from the front of the ankle, to the outside of the foot. This taping technique is designed to focus on those ligaments on the outside with respect to a few key landmarks around the ankle. The main landmarks are the medial and the lateral malleolus, which are the bony bumps on the inside and outside of the ankle respectively. There's some tendons that run down the front of the ankle here, which you can see popping out on Sean's ankle here. It's really important to be mindful of them so that we don't irritate them with the taping technique. The last landmark is the fifth metatarsal head, which wraps on the outside of the ankle. It's a bone and there's a tendon running around the bottom of that bone underneath the foot. We need to be careful of that we don't irritate that during the taping technique. We start the ankle tape by applying an anchor with minimal tension around the top of the ankle. That's not structurally supportive for the ankle, it's merely a start and end point for our taping technique. The second step is to apply some Fixamol to the front of the ankle so that we avoid irritating the tendons or the skin over the front of the joint. At clubs that have a higher tape budget, you can use Fixamol. If you don't have a high tape budget, you can just use the rigid strapping along the length of the front of the ankle. Also done along the back of the Achilles to prevent any irritation through there. The first structural strap is applied like so, and often referred to as a stirrup. Important to pat down each tape after applying. The second one follows the same line. At this point, it's really important to ensure the athlete's ankle is in neutral, neither pointed at the toes or lifted up towards the heel. A 90-degree ankle is a good guide. The third stirrup starts from behind the original, again overlapping by half to a third. Keeping the athlete's ankle in neutral, we're going to do a figure 6, which starts and finishes on the inside of the ankle, wrapping across the front of the ankle and finishing where it starts. This figure 6 is going to prevent that rolling motion that often causes the ankle sprain in the first place. Reinforcing that first figure 6 with a second, once again overlapping by half to a third. The number of figure 6s applied depends on the amount of stability required by the athlete. Typically 3 is a good guide, with 1 going in the opposite direction. We only have 1 going in the opposite direction because it's less likely that the inside ligaments are going to be sprained, and it's important that we've got some balance in the ankle and it's not just being pulled in one direction. Once again, patting down after each tape. The last piece of the tape is the heel lock, which once again can start from the inside of the ankle, wraps around the back of the heel bone at the lower part of the Achilles. Pinching the tape at the bottom of this movement can help to prevent any creasing, and finishing where you started. That movement is then replicated starting at the outside of the ankle, wrapping around the heel bone, pinch, and a second pinch to keep the tape flat, and finishing there. That ends the stability part of the taping. We then lock off with an anchor around the top of the ankle.